Having grown up in the Southtowns of Buffalo, just a few miles from the border of East Aurora, the North Star Tavern is so buried in my muscle memory of the place that even through 15 years away, it was one of the handful of roadside mental markers that I would often recall when I would think of the pretty drive up Seneca Street into East Aurora from my childhood home. Now, the fact that I have a real Walter Mitty fantasy about the place is an entire other story, as I'm a huge fan of the show Newhart. And if you recall, the show is set in an old historically important inn up in Vermont. And as far as inns go, the North Star Tavern, to me, always reminded me of the inn on the show. And in my mind's eye, I always had this fantasy that it would someday reopen its top floor rooms to the public again, just like it was back when it was first built as an overnight stop for travelers through the area. I recently had a chance to talk to Joyce, one half of the new owners of the inn, between rushes on a busy Thursday night about the inn's history, improvements, menu items, new additions, and even the inn's most permanent ethereal resident. Tell me a little bit about the business for people who are unaware of what you guys do there.
What we basically do is we run a restaurant. It's a small restaurant. We renovated it it was built in 1831. We completely renovated it, and we serve some great food with a little bit of Polish flair, that sort of thing.
Right. And it's you guys now. So that's a jeepers. How long's it been? I mean, it's been a restaurant for 70 years, right?
Oh, it's always been the North Star Tavern.
So have you guys maintained some of the dishes that were traditional there and added on to that?
We've played around with a few things like that. It was in the Young family for like the past 90 years, and when Marie Young owned it, she was known for a lot of her soups and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, we did do a few of the things there that they were known for, that sort of thing. It has a lot of different little history things. So,
sure. So there's like that base that, people who've been coming there for generations know, and then there's the other stuff that you guys have added on to it then.
Oh yeah. We decided we were going to try the Polish spin and see how that would work out,
Sure.
with Polish food.
Well,
it's
Buffalo.
Well, if it doesn't work, yeah. Because if it doesn't work, we just won't, we won't do it. We'll just change the menu. Well, it worked.
Again, it's Buffalo. So
exactly.
you kind of can't go wrong with like German and Polish and Italian food here. So, and then you guys just added on that beautiful back patio too. We should talk about that real fast. And your interior as well. Like you guys actually did some work to that, yes?
Oh, yes. We completely renovated the inside, but we were able to keep the charm of, 1831. We exposed the original beams,
right,
and that sort of thing. So we definitely, we made the new windows went in, which 1831 windows weren't very.
No, they're not too paint
weren't very
sealed, but no, it's like putting up a sheet of like Teflon or something.
Exactly.
So, but yeah,
we did the improvements that we needed to inside to make the building more sound secure, that sort of thing.
Right.
But by keeping the charm and leveling the floors out, that sort of thing, so that it wasn't so uneven and that aspect. So
yeah, it's gorgeous in there now. For anybody who hasn't seen it, they just got to stop in to check it out. I mean, from what I remember, it was it was nice because that's what it was. I mean, it was this old beautiful tavern, but you guys really did it justice. I mean, it looks as authentic as you would want it to be, but it's got that new sheen as well. You know what I mean? It's a nice combination of retaining what was beautiful and perfect and historical about it, and then kind of just giving it a little bit of a polish.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and then the back porch too. So now you've got how many seats back there now?
Oh yes, we have 8 tables that sit 4 people per person,
Right.
And then there is 2 fire pits out there. And then we have some, beautiful landscaping going on as well. We also have like 8 Adirondack chairs around the fire, so you can sit and enjoy a cocktail on a cool night like that.
Sure. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then you even got those string lights overhead too, as well back there, right? So.
Well, we haven't installed those yet, but the lanterns, the spring lights will be going up. We're going to be putting the sun sails up, that sort of thing. So.
Right.
We're not totally finished, but we're getting there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a really beautiful addition to the place as well. And you guys, for me, even as a kid growing up, whenever I passed that place, I think I told you and Tim this when I met you. It's like always like my Walter Mitty fantasy because it was like this Newhart inn, you know. Like, so there was like an inn upstairs, correct? For a long
Yes.
time. So
Yes, they rented rooms out in the 1800s when they would bring the cattle across to go to Buffalo and their feed and their goods.
right.
They had a pasture out back where the cattle could graze.
Wow.
People could come in, rest. They could get something to eat. They could stay the night and then head for the city in the morning, which
Right.
was, nice. And I believe that's what the term tavern comes from. It's eat, sleep, rest, that sort of thing. So it's like a stopover. I guess in the early 1800s, also there was a toll booth, if you will, just right before the North Star. And
Oh,
you
really?
paid per horse.
Oh, wow.
You paid your fines per horse, and it was called Plank Road at the time.
Right.
So I mean, it was
That-
pretty funny to hear
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah. So you guys must feel a sense of, you have that sense of history there too, and you're curating that place as well. I mean, it's just like something that is so beautiful and so integral to this area that you want to protect it to a degree. You know what I mean? And uphold the tradition that it is, and then move it into the future, which is what you guys are doing. Which I think is just brilliant how you guys are doing that because even with the menu, with the interior, and then with the patio, it's still the same North Star that we've always known and loved, but then you've really done a great job taking it forward. Now, super quick, do you guys, what type of specials do you have during the week?
We do a lot of different variations. We do some pasta dishes during the week. Like tonight, we're having chicken parm dinner. That's kind of become almost a staple on Thursday nights. A lot of people were coming in on Thursday and asking for it. So we were like, sure, we can have it every Thursday.
Awesome.
We run on Saturday evenings. We do a Mediterranean haddock, and we also do a panko parm haddock. People who don't get out on Friday to get their fish, they were asking for fish a lot on Saturday. So,
Right.
and it's a nicer dish too. We do prime rib every Saturday night. So that's kind of become a staple now all the time as well too. So, and
Oh,
then
that's
we change it up all the time, different features, different things, kind of depends on the weather. Sometimes if it's going to be like a cold, stormy day and you want that good comfort food like a meatloaf dinner or something like that,
Sure.
we'll do that. If it's a hotter day or something like that, something lighter, we'll do some like salad specials and
Right.
different things like that. So
Well, and that's the beauty of owning your own restaurant, isn't it? Like, because you can just, whatever needs to happen, you can make that happen, and your customers
Oh,
respond to that, right?
absolutely, absolutely. I have customers that come in all the time and request things, and I'll go, well, I can make that happen. Why don't you come in next week at this time? Or
Oh, yeah, but how awesome is that? Yeah, but a lot of places don't do that. Actually, we did that in our restaurant as well because I just feel that you should, right? But,
oh yeah.
and if you
I mean, we have our go-to soups. We have people
sure.
that come in. When are you going to have this kind of soup? When's next time I can expect that soup? And I have people. When you do have it, can you call me? So
Like you have like
we
this
do a
like
little
list
bit
of
of all of that.
yeah, that's funny. Right? You have a list of people you got to call every day. You're like, it's on the menu now. Come on in. So yeah, no, it's a brilliant place, and thank God it went to you guys who are taking such good care of it and doing such a great job with it. I'm sure this is just one of those places that everybody loves, and if anything ever happened to it, it wasn't there and it fell into the wrong hands, it would be heartbreaking for the whole community because it's just
Oh,
part of the community.
it would be. It really would be. Because, like, I mean, we walked into the place and we both just like looked at each other and we were like, no, this just feels right. And he says, I know it does.
Ah.
And I'm like, you want to do it? And he's like, yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome. You know what? I have a
And
theory that the future leads the past and the past leads the future. And that's just kind of what you were experiencing, right? You guys were meant to be there.
oh, absolutely. Like I said, it was just meant to be. And even, a lot of people go, what, like when they saw the place, how it was in such disrepair, when we came in, they go, what are you guys doing? Have you lost your mind? And we're like, no, we have a vision. We see it. And they were like, I can't believe that they're like embarking on this. But every one of those people ended up showing up here when we started working on it. And they're
Right.
like, what can we do? Can
Uh,
we help? And it was like, all friends and family. They all came together. They all jumped in, helped us out. We worked on it for a full year.
Holy cow.
Like I said, I mean, we renovated the whole thing. All the walls came out, new walls went up, new windows, new floors, new bathrooms, new ceilings. We exposed those beams and we sanded them all down. So,
Right.
I mean, it was just seeing all the charm that was in there. And I mean, there was even like we found an old beer sign that was covering a old stovepipe in the wall.
Oh, wow.
And I thought it was just a piece of metal. And when I pulled it off, it was an old beer sign from the 1800s.
Oh, man. Did you guys keep it as part of the decor?
It's hanging right next to the Beerador, the original Beerador from the 1950s, I believe it is.
Oh, that's
and
great.
It's the same colors, the black and gold. It looked like they belonged together.
Right,
right. So, I mean, it was just another part of the history to keep there and to keep it, showcasing it,
Sure. I mean, it's just that's what I mean. Like when you walk in now, and it's amazing too that somehow it was never like that. You know what I mean? But whatever you guys did, you guys just put it back the way I think that it should have been initially, and you did such a beautiful job. And I'm sure everybody that hasn't been there comes in and is just taken back by how beautiful it is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like we always say, it always feels right. Like when we always come in here, even like, we've had it now for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we come in, during the week or whatever, it just feels so good. It feels right. We still love the place like we did when we first bought it and worked on it and everything. And, a lot of people always say, like, a lot of people come in, they go, well, we've heard it's haunted and this and that. I said, no, it's not haunted. I said, but there is something here.
There's good, and listen,
it's very good what is here.
Yeah, and everybody feels that when you walk in. I felt it. It's just there. It's just a good feeling when you walk in there.
It's a great vibe when you walk in. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's like welcoming.
I mean, we always let they go, well, doesn't anything weird happen there? I said, oh yeah. I said, whenever, like, when your hands are full and you're going out to go out the back door to take stuff out to like the cooler or whatever, the door will open by itself. So I always say, thank you, Marie, because, she was the previous owner. And it happens to, like, all of them. They were like, and they were just like, wow, the door just opened. My hands were full. I didn't have anywhere to put it down, and the door just opened.
You're like, see?
We have people that come in sometimes, and the door will open, and they're just like, wow, that was weird. I'm like, no, that happens all the time.
Oh, my God, that's so cool.
And then our employees, if we're not here, they'll go, I think we heard something upstairs. And I'm like, well, that's probably Marie watching over you, making sure you are all doing your job. So you better do your job. So
you don't need surveillance cameras when you got Marie.
Right.
That's awesome, man. And you know what? It sure as heck probably is her, And is there ever any chance that you guys would ever like do an Airbnb or Airbnb the upstairs, or is it like offices now?
Right now, I don't know. I mean, right now, like, we saw the need for the patio immediately. This is Western New York. We have a short summer.
Sure.
People love being outdoors. We have such a beautiful yard. So we said the patio definitely had to happen. I mean, we've got these gigantic, beautiful pine trees, and it's, set back from the road. So it's nice. It's peaceful. It's quiet. We have the deer walk through here sometimes, And so we knew that had to happen, and we made it happen.
Yeah, it looks like it was meant to be.
Is that possible? It might be.
Yeah.
I mean, I never rule anything out. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's just, again, that's just my mind. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be awesome if you had like some rooms, and then it's like really back to the way it used to be. And those things would be full all year because Easter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's an East Aurora thing then too. You know what I mean? You're situated people can come into Buffalo and they can stay there, and then they can hit all the Southtowns from there, and then they can go into the city. Just that street has always been that main line, from the rural areas all the way into the city. So you're just
absolutely
perfectly situated, and you guys have done such a beautiful job. And thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, that's about it for this episode of the Small Town Western New York Companion Podcast. Thanks for listening, and remember to support the small towns of Western New York in any way you can. They're full of great businesses and people who'd love to see you in their towns. The Small Town Western New York Companion Podcast, the TV series, is a presentation of Discovering Western New York and A.A. Augustine Media Co. and can be found everywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening.